there was another question that you were really kind of.
So obviously Zoe's work involves a lot of technology, but for the rest of you, has the great advancements in mixing technology and recording technology made any difference on your songwriting? Is having these tools available to you change how you look at a song or how you write in your head?
Sure, yeah, I grew up as a pianist primarily, but I got into electronic music originally just kind of recording one track at a time, just building a song in layers that way. But then when a program called Ableton Live came out, I now use that as kind of the center of what I do live. And it really did change the way I think when I compose, because instead of dealing with composing linearly, what you're doing is creating little loops, and you can kind of keep the loops going and build on top of it. I'm not describing it very well, but it's a really interesting program to use, and that I think I've been using it like 10 years now or something, so it's been a while, but that did make a big change in the middle of kind of my life as a composer. But outside of that, even though most of the music I make is very electronic, but I try not to expose myself to too many new plugins and things, because it's just an infinite world of stuff, and it takes a while to learn to use a new instrument when you get it. And it's an easy trap to fall into, especially with like soft synths. There's like a million really good soft synths out there, and all kind of stuff like that. It's way too easy to like get addicted to like getting new technology and learning the new technology and making patches and all, instead of writing songs. So I intentionally limit my exposure to new instruments like that and new pieces of technology, and we'll kind of like learn one big thing and then work with that for years.
I use Ableton Live too. It's and I feel like when I started using that application, it really suddenly I could create things so much faster than in the past, and it's just. And even though it seems high tech what I do, I still mostly just use a cello and some microphones and a laptop, or in the studio it's Ableton writing on a larger machine. But in terms of when I'm doing stuff for TV, I have to create sounds, and that's harder for me, because with the cello, it's like, oh, how can I create this thing using only a cello? And you have to be creative about it, but it's a limited palette. And I feel like when I have to create a set of sounds for something I'm writing music for, and then you have to create all your own sounds, and I'm sort of like religious about making my own sample library, and then maybe making your own little instrument, digital instrument. That takes almost way more time than the writing music. So
I also I have mostly analog gear, but I'm working in Pro Tools now at home, and I also mostly play all my own stuff on it. But having that I invested in a tape machine a while ago. I don't use it that much, because having the ability to work in the digital realm, actually, it has changed some of the ways that I write. I can, I can create a loop out of something that I've actually played, or I can layer drum ideas, in a way that I couldn't achieve if I were, recording with my band, or obviously recording alone. And I think that actually has changed a little bit how I think about the options that are available to me, in the writing process.
I use Pro Tools too, and it's really changed. When Nerf Herder started, we actually recorded to tape, and you would have to be able to sing correctly the thing that was going to be heard, and you would spend like an hour singing the same thing over and over, and it was a nightmare. It's like if you all had to go back to churning your own butter or something. I just don't want to do it. But so hallelujah, we live in a great time.
Unfortunately, I don't think you can really convincingly auto-tune a cello. So with the cello, I still have to try to nail it, which still takes a long time.